Hi, guys. My name is Chidexi, and welcome to another episode of the Truth Podcast. Today, I want to talk about a topic that we mostly do not touch. We don't talk about it a lot. And the topic of today is learn how to forgive yourself. So, yeah, forgive yourself. Just let's put it forgive yourself. A lot of time people talk about forgiveness, but they talk about forgiveness in the aspect of third party, forgive one another. But nobody really talks about the most important kind of forgiveness, which is forgiving yourself. A lot of times we carry pain, and so many times we feel like, oh, it's because people hurt us. And we don't know that years has passed. In fact, you have forgiven those people without knowing it, but you have not forgiven yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. And I just want to say here and now that get up. Get up. Stop rolling in the mud. I hope you know, nobody knows what you're going through. Nobody sees your deepest heart desire. Nobody sees what is going inside of you. We all just bring out the best part of us. Nobody really talks about the part that is down. So I want to stand here, or rather sit here, and tell you to get up now and forgive yourself, because every kind of forgiveness starts within. Every kind. You know, when people say that forgiveness is not for the person you're forgiving, it's for you. But to be honest, even if you forgive the person and you think it's for you, without forgiving yourself, you are still stuck. You're stuck in a very dark web. Because everything that happens, you just feel like, you know what? You feel like everybody's better than you. Now it begins to make you lose self-confidence. It begins to make you lose self-esteem. It begins to make you lose the taste of life, because you refuse to do one thing. And so many times you don't even realize that you are carrying grudges against your own self. I don't want to sit here and talk about scenarios. We all know what we have gone through. We all know what we are going through. But I want to tell you, think about it. I know that 70% of the time, why you are stuck is because you have not forgiven yourself. What has happened is not your fault. I met somebody just recently, and he was like, oh, Chidima, see, that trying to remind me of, some things that I don't want to remember. And I told him that everything that happened was supposed to happen. Because if those things did not happen, I wouldn't have been who I am today. Everything is all connected. Everything happened because it is shaping me to be who I am, who God wants me to be today. Until you begin to look at life in that positive light that says there is nothing that can happen to you without the permission of God. There is nothing that can happen to you without the permission of God. Then you will know that nothing really is your fault. You will just know that, you know what? It's all supposed to happen. Get up, sis. Get up. Sometimes we get into that web of, and this, let me just say this. Isolation is a bad thing. And it happens whenever we are getting close to the dark web. What the devil does first is to isolate you. and then start making you believe that your life is worse, that there's nobody that has it tougher, that everything that has happened to you is your fault. I want to sit here now and tell you that it was not your fault that you were raped. It wasn't your fault that you lost your parent. It wasn't your fault that you dropped out of school. It wasn't your fault that you were pregnant at your teen. It wasn't your fault that everything that happened was not your fault. And let me tell you, it wasn't your fault that you got divorced. You stayed, you tried your best, and it did not work. It's not your fault. Forgive yourself. Stop blaming yourself. Move on with your life, and that can only be done when you forgive yourself. It wasn't your fault that you were betrayed. It's not you, it was them. They are moving forward. Why are you still stuck in the betrayal? Why are you still stuck in your past? I'm here to tell you that you have to wake up and stand up. We are waiting for you. We are waiting for you right now to stand up. I'm supposed to title this, Get Up. But I want to tell you to get up. If you're looking for somebody to help you, then we are a lot waiting for you to just raise your hand up, signify that you need help. We are waiting for you. None of those things that happen are your fault. Some people, when you hear their life story, you begin to wonder that, why did God allow this happen? Then let's ask the question, why did God allow his son to die for us? I think that is a better question to ask. If he can allow Jesus to go through the most shameful death because of you, then there is a purpose and a reason for everything that happened. Turn your pain into turn your grass into grace. From pain to what? Turn your pain into purpose. Turn your pain into purpose. There's something my pastor always says. My pastor always says that most people that became successful because of somebody, or because of an event, or because of a situation. What is that situation that if you look at, you will say, you know what? Because of you, because of this, I must be successful. Let me tell you, the level of success I have attained in this life, I always tell somebody, I said, because of you, way before I knew I was going to do anything, I said, because of you, I will be successful. And every single time I ever have the chance to talk to him, I will tell him that, you see, all of these things that I have achieved is because you did me dirty. Because you did me dirty. I say, you know what, you can go, but I would be successful. I will be successful. I held on to that, and I allowed my pain to become a purpose to me, because my why was stronger than anything. I wanted to prove to myself. I wanted to prove a point to myself that I can do it. I wanted to prove a point to myself that I am more than what it takes. There are so many other heights that I am going to attain. And to be honest, I still just thank God, because what happened, happened. Because if what happened did not happen, I would have been lazy. I wouldn't have thought about anything. There would have been nothing like my business. It would not have been baited ever. So sis, get up and stop crying. Stop looking like, oh, what you are going through, or what you've gone through. Nobody has gone through it. Go and sit with successful people. Sit with people that are breaking ground and ask them, why did they start? It is most likely 80% of the time it always comes from pain. Most times. How did I even start skincare? Because I was finding solutions to my problem. So many people are like you, but they refuse to let their pain crush them. They forgave themselves. And let me tell you, forgiveness of self is one thing nobody can take that journey with you. You must journey that journey alone because it needs you to open up closed wounds. It needs you to open up things that you don't want to say ever again to anybody. It needs you to dig some graves and open up some things that even in your deepest part of your heart, you don't want to ever go close to that topic. But the good thing is you are opening it up to yourself and nobody else. Take a break. Open it up. Cry. Wail. But girl, get up. Because let me say this. There is nothing in this life that you have lost that is to be compared to the glory that is to come. There is nothing and nobody and no amount of money that you have lost, you have missed, that is to be compared with what is to come. The Bible said that eyes have not seen, that ears have not heard, that mind cannot imagine what he has in store for you. He said the glory of the latter shall be better than the former. He said, behold, I will do a new thing in your life. And when he do those things in your life, he said that you will be like those that are dreaming. In the Bible, it was referred to like they were like those that were dreaming. It was as though they were dreaming. But how can you accept all of this if some people, their own has gone beyond just not forgiving self. Some people are having grudges with God. Some people are angry with God. And let me tell you, sometimes, sometimes let's not deny the fact that sometimes we can be mad at God. But until you start understanding that everything has a purpose, God is so timely, God is so purposeful that everything has a purpose. Even your failure, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why you even failed. There's a reason why this job rejected you so that a bigger one can accept you. There's a reason why you did not travel this year so that when you're going as an all expense paid trip. There's a reason. God has a reason for everything. And until you begin to embrace, sometimes when I don't get some things to go my way, I used to be angry. I used to be mad. Oh, why? Some other people, they don't even work this hard. They get things done. They get things, And then as I grow, I realize that, wow, no wonder you didn't want me to get this. No wonder you broke this off. No wonder this did not work out. I mean, wow. So this is what would have been my life. Years later, you begin to realize that sometimes rejection is the biggest blessing. It's not, some people will be like blessing in disguise. No, it's not in disguise. It's the biggest blessing. Sometimes the no that God gives you is the answer prayer. Not every time you hear yes, 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 yes. God is not an oh yes member. God is not here to romance your feelings. God is not here to some of us grew up in homes where our parents don't really say no to us. Anything we want, they give you. God is not your parent. God is your God. He sees the end from the beginning. So if it means him to give it to you in a very hard way, just so that he can deliver you at the long run, then I'm sorry, he will take that route. But he's not here to romance your feelings. He's here to be your God and to show you the way and to help you achieve your purpose, because God is a God of purpose. Remember when he saw the tree that couldn't bear fruit? He was so mad that he cursed that tree. So just know that every human being on earth has a purpose, and his optimum and first objective for us is so that we can achieve our purpose and harness our power. So sometimes he has to block some things from reaching your hand. Sometimes he has to disconnect some people from you. He has heard, he was in meetings you were not. He has heard what you did not listen to. So instead of you beating yourself up, tell God, thank you. This is what I have started doing since last year. I realized that I tell God, thank you, especially for the things I did not get. I tell him thank you for what I got or for the things I get, but I begin to tell him thank you more for the things I did not get. Because sometimes if they open your eyes to see the battles that God has been fighting for us, you will beg not to see it again. Some of us that are dreamers, we dream a lot. Sometimes we dream and we wake up shaking with so many hits, like shaking as if feet jerking. So sometimes when God say no to some things, to some proposals, to so many things, thank God. But there's something that God can do only so much for us. God can do a lot for us, but one thing that is above his power is for you to forgive your own self. God can forgive you. In fact, not just God can forgive you, God has forgiven you. Before you were born, he knew you. He had forgiven you. He had forgiven what you would do in 20 years' time. But the question is, have you forgiven yourself? The devil knows that. And that's why what he does is to stiffen your heart to forgiving your own self. If God can forgive you, why haven't you forgiven yourself? Why can't you forgive yourself? Do you see the trick? And until you forgive yourself, you cannot stand up. And God is just sitting down, begging you to forgive yourself and stand up from the mess that you are dining with. Stand up and move, because he is up with you. He is up with you. I don't know why God has laid it in my heart to say this, but I am just here to say that forgive yourself and get up. Get up. Stand up. Get up. Wake up. When you pick up yourself again, you begin to see things differently. You will begin to see things differently. Just remember that eyes have not seen. Even you yourself, you've not seen it. Eyes have not seen. Ears have not heard. Mind cannot imagine. No matter how they close their eyes to imagine, they cannot imagine what God has in store for you. Every time I remember that scripture, I say, wow, God, so you mean this point I am right now is not even where you're taking me to? The journey is so exciting because it only gets better. And let me tell you, it gets lighter and better when you forgive yourself. Thank you for sticking up till this time. I am rounding up now. So thank you for staying till this time. And remember to forgive yourself and get up. Girl, get up. Rise up and get going and be successful. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at The Truth Pod. Don't forget to follow our Spotify page and listen to us on Spotify at The Truth Pod. And please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a great day. Bye.